Hello everyone, welcome again. I am Dr. Vasant Boraste from Department of Commerce, KTHM College, Nasik. Today I am going to discuss with you about the Accounting Standard 14 and its practical example how to calculate the PC. First of all, I would like to recap. In the previous video, we have already seen the accounting standards, its applicability, S5 that is net profit or loss for the period, prior period items and changes in accounting policies, and we have already discussed about AS10 that is property plant and equipment, its practical example that is under AS10. And in the last video we have already seen the introductory part of accounting standard 14, that is accounting for amalgamation. In this video we will see the one practical example of AS14. So let us start our practical example for accounting standard 14. So here is the example of accounting standard 14, that is accounting for amalgamation. A Limited takes over B Limited on 1st April 2019 and discharge consideration for the business as follows. Issue 42,000 fully paid equity shares of rupees 10 each at par to the equity shareholders of B Limited. Second one is issues fully paid of 15% preference shares of rupees 100 each to discharge the preference shareholder of rupees 1,70,000. That means here total number of shares are 1,70,000 divided by 100 equal to 1,700, that is 1,700. Of B Limited at 10% at a premium of 10%. So it simply means that the value of share preference shareholder will be 110, that is 10% plus. It is agreed that the debentures of B Limited of rupees 50,000 will be converted into equal number and amount of 13% debentures of A Limited. Calculate the amount of purchase consideration as per accounting standard 14. So you can take a screenshot of this example or you may write down it in your notebook. Now let us start this solution. First of all, what is asked, what we have to calculate, that is purchase consideration. Purchase consideration is what? As I earlier mentioned in the last video, that amalgamation or accounting for amalgamation, that is S14, deals with when there are two companies comes together and form a new company. At that time, the new company has to pay some amount to the old company. That is, say for example, company A and B Limited both are going to amalgamate and going to form a new company as C Limited. So in this case, C Limited have to pay some amount to A Limited as well as B Limited, because C Limited is going to take the assets and liabilities of A Limited as well as B Limited. So this is called as an purchase consideration. That means the consideration for that assets and liabilities. So let us start this solution. As per accounting standard 14, we have to solve this example. Here you can see the calculation of purchase consideration as per S14. 42,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each, which is given in the example, that is 42,000 fully paid equity shares of rupees 10 each. That means the number of shares are 42,000 and the price per share is rupees 10. It simply means that the value of shares is rupees 4,20,000. So this is one part of purchase consideration. Another part is issue fully paid 15% preference shares of rupees 100 each to discharge the preference shareholder of rupees 1,70,000. As I earlier mentioned that total number of shares for calculate we can calculate through dividing the value of shares, that is 1,70,000 divided by 100 equals to 1700, that means 1700. So the total number of shares will be 1700 and the value of per share is rupees 110, just because it is clearly mentioned that the preference shareholder should be paid at 10% premium. That means 100 plus 10%, that is 100 plus 10. So value of per share will be 110. In this way, you can calculate the value of preference shareholder, that is 1,87,000. The face value of the shares was rupees 1,70,000 and per share face value was rupees 100. So you can calculate in this way the purchase consideration. The total of these two will be called as purchase consideration, that is 6,07,000. As I already mentioned that it is agreed that the debentures of B Limited 50,000 will be converted into full number and amount of 13% per debentures. So it will be not calculated in the consideration, that is purchase consideration. Debentures of B Limited 50,000 will be converted into equal number and amount of 13% debentures of A Limited will be and a note. You have to mention the answer in this form, that is purchase consideration as per AS14 will be rupees 6,07,000. So in this way you can calculate the purchase consideration as per accounting standard 14, that is accounting for amalgamation. With this I would like to say thank you very much.